it's Brian here. Today talking about the San Francisco 49ers, as always, talking about the free agency and draft period coming up in the next month or two. Free agency coming up in March, the draft coming up in April, looking at which side of the ball the 49ers should focus more on this offseason period. Offense or defense should be interesting just because of the fact I think the team is fully loaded, fully stacked, assuming that almost everybody comes back. So I'm going to be looking at it, and I will be taking into account in case guys like Emmanuel Sanders or Arik Armstead decide to leave for free agency. It's going to be a very interesting one. Hope you guys do enjoy this video. Good to be back for this week on a Monday, and let's just get this rolling. But before I do, please like and subscribe. That's going to definitely help me out a lot. Click that bell notification to get notified of future videos. Share this channel, share this content with fellow Niner faithfuls. I'm getting this started. 49ers, what side of the ball should they focus more? Offense or defense for the draft and free agency? Okay, time to talk about offense and defense, which side to go for in this whole offseason period in terms of the free agency period and the draft period. Going to get into it right now. Offensively, I think for the most part, it looks in tip-top shape. We do have a couple of guys that are going to be restricted/unrestricted free agents. Notable guys right now, Kendrick Bourne, he's going to be a restricted free agent. Matt Breida, he'll be a restricted free agent as well. Unrestricted free agent definitely is going to be Emmanuel Sanders. He's going to be the big question mark for this offensive side of the ball. Is he going to be re-signing with us, or is he going to be going somewhere else? Maybe the New England Patriots with Tom Brady. So they're going to have to take into account that. Other than that, I think offensively it looks amazing. With Kyle Shanahan as the play caller, you got Jimmy G, the quarterback. Some of you guys don't believe in him, but I still believe in him personally. I think he's still the man in San Francisco. Second year as a full-time starter. People got to remember that. So there's a lot of room to grow if you're Jimmy Garoppolo and company. I think he's going to be great in 2020. Running back position, as I said, Breida is going to be a restricted free agent. Other than that, everybody else is going to be in contract for the 49ers. Tevin Coleman, he might be an interesting case as well. Are they going to cut him? There's been some rumors, maybe, just because they can save some money in the salary cap. But I believe he brings a lot of value for us in San Francisco. He did have some inconsistent moments with us during this team in 2019. But he's had some monster games for us in San Francisco. You look at the game against Carolina. You look at the game against the Minnesota Vikings. Those games in particular, that shows that he is worthy of a roster spot, in my opinion, for the 49ers in 2020. Raheem Mostert, Jeff Wilson Jr., I believe they could use the latter even more in 2020. So we'll see what happens. We'll see what Bobby Turner and Kyle Shanahan has in terms of the running back position, because they are the best position coaches in terms of finding great backs and using their system to get the best out of running backs. We'll see that. Wide receiver position, as I said, Kendrick Bourne, he'll be a restricted free agent. We'll see if they want to match his offer. If somebody else offers him contracts, I think they should definitely keep him, because Jimmy G and Kendrick Bourne, you look at their chemistry within third down and goal line situations, he's the man for that. Hopefully he does stay with the 49ers. Biggest story, as I keep saying, Emmanuel Sanders, where is he going to be going? Is he going to be with us in San Francisco in 2020, or is he going to be with maybe the New England Patriots and Tom Brady? That'd be interesting case as well. Guys coming back from injury, you got Trent Taylor and Jalen Hurd. I can't wait to see Hurd make his debut in the regular season in 2020. I hope he brings a lot of value. I hope he brings a lot of versatility, which we're always looking for in this offense, especially Kyle Shanahan. We'll see what they do with him. And yeah, that looks pretty good. Offensively, for the most part, I think everyone's going to be intact. Joe Staley, Lincoln Tomlinson, Mike Person, Weston Richburg should be making his return. Although Garland, I think he's going to be a free agent, but he's been proven to be a really good offensive line. In the playoffs, he was a very effective center for the 49ers, being able to call audibles and do all the snaps, nothing messing up too crazy. That's good right there. And Mike McGlinchey, he's still going to be in contract with us. George Kittle, that's going to be another interesting case for 2021. I won't be opening that can of worms in this video, but they do have to take into account him if they want to re-sign him to a big contract come next year. Looking at the offensive side of the ball, I think it's very optimistic. I'm really excited to see what they do with this, and not too many free agents in terms of the side of the ball. But defensively, there's a ton of guys that are going to be free agents, and they're all unrestricted. Let's look at the defensive side of the ball. Looking at it, Ronald Blair, Arik Armstead, those two come in mind in terms of the defensive line. They're going to be unrestricted free agents. They really have to be careful with that. Linebacking core, they look pretty good as well. Fred Warner, Quan Alexander, Dre Greenlaw, they're all contract with us in San Francisco for 2020. Defensive back, I think it's going to be a big need for us come this offseason. offseason, whether it's in the free agency or draft period. Are they going to draft one? Are they going to get somebody from a veteran leadership? Richard Sherman, I don't know. Is there some question marks about him in terms of playing quarterback? He could play safety if he wanted to. He did talk about that early on when he did come to San Francisco as a free agent. There's going to be a lot of question marks on whether he can still be that effective cornerback that he was. Intellectually, one of the best cornerbacks in the NFL, but physically, is he getting up there in age? I think that's the big question that everyone's having for him in terms of being able to play the cornerback position for the 49ers and just in the NFL in general. Jimmy Ward, he's going to be a free agent as well. You look at the defensive side of the ball, if you want to fill needs, if you think a lot of players are going to be departing from this side of the ball, then you really got to focus on the defensive side of the ball. Alluding to that, I believe looking at both sides of the ball, we've been focusing on defense for the past couple of years, especially in 2019. If you're looking at people potentially leaving the 49ers, I believe you look at the defensive side of the ball more in terms of free agency and the draft. But the 31st pick overall, if they don't do anything, I'm assuming that they're going to be drafting a cornerback with the 31st pick. I don't know. I mean, whether they trade up, trade down, that's a case for them. But assuming they keep the 31st pick, 2020 draft, I believe they look for a defensive back if they don't like anybody from free agency period. And I'll be talking about which free agents to target for the 49ers come this week. It's coming up in a couple of weeks, so it's going to be very interesting to see what happens then. You go defensive side of the ball this time, but there's going to be a couple of caveats. It depends if Armstead and them, they decide to leave and hop out in free agency. Offensively, we don't have too many free agents. I think the only one notable is Emmanuel Sanders, but other than that, I believe you go defensive side of the ball again, mostly just because the fact a lot of people might be leaving potentially in this team. That's pretty much it, you guys. Offensively, it looks pretty intact, but defensively, they got to really look at it and see if anybody's going to be leaving for free agency. Please let me know what you guys got. Who should they be focusing on more on the side of the ball, offense or defense? I like to hear what you guys say in the comments below. If you guys like this, please like and subscribe. That's going to help you out a lot. I'll be catching you guys out tomorrow on a Tuesday. I'll see y'all then. Bye, guys. Love y'all. Y'all have a great rest of your night. Go Niners all day.